Welcome again, guys, to my YouTube channel where you will master cloud and FinOps. This is the first video of 2025, and I would like to take an opportunity to wish all of you a very happy new year. Please hit the bell icon and subscribe the YouTube channel so that you will get the notification and update about my upcoming videos. So today we are going to talk about six FinOps principle, which is the important constitute of FinOps framework. So FinOps principles are developed by member of FinOps Foundation based on their experience, and they refine these principles over the time. Most of the time, we see the keyword called North Star or guiding star. So FinOps principle, we have to treat it as a North Star because these are giving the guidance to the FinOps team how we should move. So moreover, it is a guiding principles. So I will start with the first principle where it is asking team need to be collaborative. So in a organization or in an enterprise, there are multiple teams which work together. So those teams are the IT team or infra team, procurement, finance, or application team. So expectation is all the teams should be collaborative. They work in a closed collaboration and they together come up with the governance and control for the cloud consumption so that every team will work in a common goal or work to achieve a common goal. The second principle says that any decision related to cloud consumption need to be triggered by a business value. What does it mean is whenever we are taking any decision like provisioning any resource or purchasing any resource or starting any new service in the cloud, the overall business value or objective need to be considered. So for example, if any organization is working towards reducing the carbon emission, then we should not go with the resource type which is causing the carbon emission, and later the FinOps team need to work on the optimizing the resource with respect to carbon footprint reduction. So by design, all the decisions should be triggered by a business value. And one more thing is we should not focus on the monthly cost, but overall we should go in a direction where organization will adopt the unit economics. This is an important stage or important concept of FinOps, unit economics, which we will discuss in detail in one of the upcoming video. And you can consider that unit economics is the highest matured state. So if any organization achieved the state of unit economics where they are able to project entire cost in terms of unitized way, we can say that that organization achieved the highest level of FinOps maturity. So this is moreover concepts related to FinOps, which any organization has to achieve at one stage where they want to be mature in terms of FinOps. Now going to the third principle where it is talking about the accountability. So everyone should be accountable for their cloud uses. So if an enterprise is having multiple cost centers, multiple applications, or you can say the multiple functions, the different owners are working in a overall ecosystem, they should be aware of their cloud consumption and they should be in charge of the cloud uses. So cloud usage in charge is not about just the mapping of individual or mapping of cost centers to the respective cloud resource, but they should take accountability for each and every dollar or euro which organization is spending for the cloud consumption. Today, if executive leadership will ask to individual that why they are increasing the consumption, they should have a readily available answer. If their cost is going on a higher side, they should know what are the key contributors towards the higher cost. So in this way, the FinOps third FinOps principle is asking the accountability with respect to cloud consumption or cloud uses. Now coming to the fourth principle, variable cost model, which is very specific towards the cloud uses or cloud consumption, because here the cost consumption or cost will be variable always. It will not be fixed month on month, unlike our traditional data center. So instead of beginning with the higher capacity which we used to do in a traditional data center, because procurement timeline was more to purchase the resource, in cloud it is not like that. In cloud you can purchase the resource or cloud service just on a simple click. So instead of purchasing the capacity in advance, we should focus on smaller capacity provisioning and then increase it with the requirement or with the complexity. So we should focus on right sizing, volume discount, reservation instance purchase. So all these are treated as a variable cost model. Right sizing, whenever the capacity we want to increase it, it will increase the capacity and it will increase the cost appropriately in this proportionate way, right? So that is called a variable cost model. So we should change our mindset from on-prem data center to cloud, where we can provision the less capacity and increase it based on the demand or scale it based on the demand. So our focus to be shifted towards the cloud feature like right sizing, reservation, or rate optimization, or capacity auto scaling. So all these appropriate feature we should start adopting it. Now, fifth principle is the timely and accessible report. So we discussed this topic in my previous videos as well. So in cloud, we are paying on a hourly basis or on a even per second basis for few of the services. So it is not worth to have a monthly or quarterly cost reporting. If we are doing it, we are not ultimately doing fair with the cloud consumption. So when we are consuming on a per second basis or per hour basis, our reporting should be also per second or hourly basis. Ideally, it should be real time. So the respective stakeholders who are the decision maker, they should have a real time reporting with the easily accessibility. It should not happen that they are sending emails to the respective stakeholders or PMO, and then PMO or project management officers are sending the reports over the email, which will overall fail the purpose. So the fifth FinOps principle is asking availability of reports to the right stakeholder on right time. The sixth principle or sixth FinOps principle is having a centralized FinOps team. Now, the question from many of the customer is that operation team is doing all the things like right sizing, resizing, tagging, reporting, that why additional resource as a dedicated FinOps team or centralized FinOps team is required, why they should pay for the dedicated FinOps team. So simple answer which I quote usually is ITSM team. So cloud engineer is still doing the work, but still dedicated ITSM team is there. Why? Cloud engineer can report the incident, change, or problem status, even the SLA, right? But still dedicated ITSM team is there. Why? Because they are unbiased in their job. So they are not influenced by the technical operation team. If technical team is doing something and they face some outage, it may be possible that they are hiding the actual root cause. So ITSM team or problem management is there to ensure that fair or unbiased root cause analysis is happening, right? And they are not getting influenced from other teams. Similarly, the central FinOps team is required, which will enforce or ensure that governance are enforced in the ecosystem. They will be unbiased. They will not incline toward the application team, or they are not inclined toward the infra team. They are not inclined toward procurement team. So they will give the neutral view, the real-time informed view to the executives that this is what is happening in the ecosystem, and based on the organization objectives or organization priority, they will decide the benchmarking and enforce those governance policy across different portfolios or different personas. So that is why centralized FinOps team is required, who is primarily in charge to ensure that the organization is effectively consuming their cloud, and whatever they are spending, that is optimized. So in this way, these are the six principles. Any organization need to follow all these principles. Just as a recap, these principles are: first is collaboration, second is the decision should be based on the business values, then accountability will be the third principle. Variable cost model adoption is a fourth principle. Availability of timely accessible Availability of timely and accessible reports is the fifth principle, and centralized FinOps team in should be in place, which is the sixth principle. So any organizations who want to move towards FinOps, they should consider all these principles as a whole. It is not required that they should follow a specific sequence, but ultimately organization should focus on all these principles at a time. Maturity can be different at a different level. So that's all I wanted to talk about these six FinOps principles. I hope you are having a clarity about these principles and now you can explain these principles to anyone. In case if you have any questions, feel free to put your questions or queries in the comment section, and do not forget to share and subscribe these channels so that the other colleagues and friends will also get benefit of my content, and you will also get the update on time whenever I will post a new video. So that's all. Wonderful day ahead, and once again happy new year to all of you. Bye bye, take care, and see you soon.